Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Volkswagen Golf GTE. So we've had this car for 3 years now. I think it's the 3rd of September today, so it's literally 3 years as of 2 days ago. Picked it up on the 1st of September when the 67 plate came out. So it's recently had a MOT, it's had to be taxed for the first time, and yeah, it's just sort of a quite important time for this car. It's sort of just become, it's sort of the transition from new car to an older car when you start after MOTs, etc. This is the lease car. It's a company vehicle, so it's actually due to be replaced in the next month or so. So it's sort of a update video about this car, what it's been like for the past 3 years, a final sort of farewell to the car really. So I won't reveal what we're going to be getting as a replacement, but I just thought I'd take the chance to have a good look around this vehicle, because we've put a fair load of miles on it in the 3 years, and yeah, just give you guys an idea of what it's been like to live with. So like I said, we picked up this car 3 years ago, and it's been an interesting ownership period. We've had a few issues with it. We've had a couple of electrical gremlins early on, mainly with the infotainment system and the car's onboard computers. We had a computer fail where essentially the car wouldn't unlock or anything, and we had to use the key like that. That was for quite a few weeks because the actual part from Volkswagen didn't come. They didn't have any. They didn't even have any in German, so they had to wait for some to be made before they could replace that. So that was quite an annoying thing. We also had the infotainment system failed as well, which was bizarre, to say at the least. It just stopped working. We had no dashboard, none of that, so then the car had to go back for that again. So it's a bit of a weird one in that sort of thing. As you can see, here is that's the MOT there. So it was at 74,000 miles, nearly 75,000 miles, which is essentially 25,000 miles each year we've had this car. So it's quite a high mileage car. I think it's actually the second highest mileage car. That makes sense. There's currently one for sale with 82,000 miles on, similar spec and age. So yeah, it's been an interesting car. What else have we had go wrong? We've had the turbo failed on it as well. Whilst travelling on the M40 in the fast lane, the turbo failed on it. So it just went like really limp and crap. It was bizarre. But after those sorts of a few teething issues, they were all within the first year of ownership of this car, and ever since then it's been fairly decent in terms of running. As you can see, it's in fairly good condition. We haven't had that many issues with it. Oh, we did have also we broke an alloy on a pothole, so that had to be replaced. That was £700. We had to fit the bill that because it's technically damaged. So £700 that cost. But there's a few things on the car that are pretty disappointing considering the car's only 3 years old. And the first bit is going to be the alloy wheels here. As you can see, this alloy wheel was 3 years old. Has a slight little nick in it, and the whole thing started to corrode, which is, I think, quite disappointing on a car this young. It's done mainly motorway miles, so it's not like it's been abused. But just things like that on these modern Volkswagens are failing quite poorly. Also, as you can see, the finish on the exhaust pipes is pretty shocking. They've been scrubbed and polished, and there's still pretty much all the niceness has come off of them. This wheel isn't so bad. As you can see, it's in fairly decent nick. This front wheel here is the one that we've had to replace. And it's just the wheel that's always in the potholes really, so it's not really a great surprise. We've had a slight bit of damage here. This is caused by some debris on the motorway, but as you can see, the whole car's in a pretty decent condition. The paintwork stayed nice. This is white silver, which was quite a controversial choice when we first ordered it, but as you can see, it stayed nice, and it's actually a really nice colour for the car. I think you'll agree, it's quite photogenic, this car, in terms of how it comes across on camera. We've also got stuff like the LED lights and everything. It's all working fine. So yeah, and it's lasted fairly decent. There's a few bits, sort of a few marks on the roof and stuff where we've had roof bars starting to peel off. These Golfs have weird roof bar mounting systems where it's all underneath the door. As you can see, this is all sort of starting to peel off and everything. But like I said, it's lasted fairly well. All of the illuminations here, they're all still working and everything like that, which is nice. A lot of those fail on cars after a certain period, but it's not been too bad. This car's had several services. I think it's had 3 services in its lifetime. I can't remember off the top of my head, and they've all been taken care of by Volkswagen. We have been disappointed by Volkswagen's customer service a couple of times. Just wait for the dog. Neighbour's dog wasn't very happy there. Yeah, just a few things that we've been let down by Volkswagen in terms of getting the parts. They weren't able to give us courtesy cars and that sort of thing that you'd expect, because I think this is sort of one of the most expensive spec Golfs that you can get, and they just weren't very interested. It was Virtue, Volkswagen and Hereford. They've been quite lazy on sort of the customer service bits, so that's been a bit of a shame. And I think as a result of that, we are not going to get another Volkswagen. We've been quite disappointed by that. So that's just, I think, luck of the draw really, in terms of what the dealership is like in your area. Just while I remember, we've got another bit of damage on the car. Neighbour's dog isn't very happy today. This was caused by a stone on the motorway again, and as you can see, it's just broken this here. It all still works, as you can see, but yeah, just a little bit of an annoyance bit. In terms of what we liked about the car, mainly one of the reasons we got this car was for tax purposes. Being a hybrid, the benefit in kind is really low on this. I think in the whole sort of 3 years we've saved about nearly £4,000 on company car tax by getting a hybrid, so that was the main reason we've done it really. It wasn't to save money in fuel, because the car comes with a fuel card. It's literally just been because of the benefit in kind was so much cheaper, and as a result we haven't really used it to its full EV capabilities. We've got around 28 or maximum of 28 miles on the charge. That was mainly downhill as well, so realistically you're going to get about 20 to 25 miles on an electric charge on this car, and then you'll then get obviously your regular fuel mileage, as it were. Volkswagen claim this will do upwards of 130 miles per gallon. That's a load of rubbish. You'll never see that at all. I think this car is averaging about 45 to the gallon, which is, well, is less than a third of what Volkswagen claim, which is a bit of a shame, but it's unsurprising when you use it, I suppose, in the way we do. It's quite quick, this car, which is nice. The electric motor does give it a bit of poke, like instant torque. Just turn the radio off, but yeah, as you can see, we've got the lovely digital dials, and like I said, they failed once and we lost all dash readouts and everything, which is quite dangerous to drive it, obviously with no speedometer and everything. Fortunately we had a GPS speedometer that we had to use, but yeah, it's been a fairly decent car. If we go on to the car stats, and I'll get the details of what it's doing. Look, one of my pet hates about modern cars is all this piano black. As you can see, it's just an absolute fingerprint magnet for everything. You've got all dust and everything like that, which has been frustrating. As you can see, we've got an average of 46.3 miles per gallon over 74,000 miles. So really isn't that good on electric in terms of the hybrid MPG. That is similar to what you'd see with a standard 1.4 petrol TSI engine, and I think that's just because the EV-ness of this car is quite compromised when you're doing long journeys. It doesn't really make sense in terms of miles per gallon compared to if you're doing short city journeys where you can do everything on the electric charge. But as you can see, as I put my finger near the screen, the screen sort of comes alive, and there's little features like that which are nice. There you go, like that. What else have we? The Volkswagen app as well has been fairly good. It had a few issues, but thanks to the updates and stuff, it's worked. It's just nice that you can sort of put your aircon on before you get in the car. You can warm it up or cool it down depending on the weather, and yeah, that's been lovely. But yeah, to be honest, guys, that's pretty much it. It's not been a very exciting car to own. It's not exactly very dynamic when you drive it, but as you can see, the seats are wearing well. 74,000 miles. There, look, it's a tiny bit of wear that you can see, but they're fairly well. I'm not even going to ask what those stains are. Fairly well wearing. The steering wheel is also in good condition as well. Quite a nice steering wheel, this. Can't complain too much. Cruise control, etc. It's obviously got the adaptive cruise control with the distances and everything. That's good. It's quite a good system. You need to be careful when you use it on like roundabouts, because it nearly shot us off into the path of a lorry. But overall, this car's been a fairly decent car, and I think it's not a car that we'll miss, but it's certainly not a car that we've not enjoyed owning, if that makes sense. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.